Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Kushner,
Here.
Osborne,
Here.
Latari,
Here.
Jones,
Here.
Euler.
Here.
Thank you.
Approval of city council minutes. Move to approve.
Kushner,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Latari,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Euler.
Yes. Item 3.2, corrected city council minutes dated February 12th, 2024. Motion to approve the corrected minutes dated February 12th.
I so move.
Thank you.
Kushner,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Latari,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Euler.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm glad our meetings are taped.
Me too.
Adoption of agenda.
Move to adopt.
Kushner,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Latari,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Euler.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, item 5.1, recognition of heroic act by Tony Barron. And we're very happy the family could be here with us. If you'd come up front and we'll do a proclamation, and the officers, please. Why don't you come on over here?
No, Nan's here.
I'm gonna just squeeze right in here, if you don't mind. Thank you very much again for coming. Appreciate it very much. And our officers for all you did. Very much. Recognition of the bravery and honor of Tony Barron. Whereas we honor the memory of Tony Barron, who bravely and without hesitation gave the ultimate sacrifice to save the life of another in our community. And whereas Tony was 39 years old and a father of 2 beloved children. And whereas Tony had served in the United States Army, 101st Airborne Division, the Screaming Eagles, as a combat infantryman in Iraq, and returned home decorated with many achievement and service medals. And whereas Tony held strong biblical beliefs and said his faith delivered him from the scars of war. Whereas on November 12th, 2025, the Johnson County Central Dispatch received calls regarding a domestic disturbance in progress. Warrensburg officers were immediately dispatched and located the suspect armed with a weapon, running on foot. The suspect fired the weapon multiple times in the area of the officers as they arrived on scene. Whereas Tony Barron, an innocent bystander, attempted to intervene prior to officers' arrival and was subsequently shot and killed by the suspect. And whereas Tony Barron, an innocent bystander, attempted to intervene and was shot, whereas the female victim involved was treated for injuries and released from Western Missouri Medical Center. Whereas through Tony Barron's heroic action, he not only protected the initial victim, but likely prevented further harm to others in the community. Now therefore be it resolved, I, Mayor Bruce D. Euler, along with the City Council of Warrensburg, Missouri, in solemn remembrance, deepest gratitude, highest respect, we honor the memory of Tony Barron as a true hero and recognize his selfless, courageous act dated this 12th day of January, 2026.
Okay, yeah, you don't get me up here for too long.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You want to take pictures with us up here, or did you get some?
I also, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good, one more time. Item 6.1, an ordinance established traffic control in the Copper Ridge First Plat subdivision in the city of Warrensburg, Missouri, presented by Phil Adlich, interim public works director.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. So I bring before you a ordinance establishing traffic control at Copper Ridge, the subdivision out on DD. It's going to establish speed limit, parking restrictions, stop signs. And we recommend that with our ordinance is approved. I'll stand for any questions or.
Any questions? Susie? Nope.
Nope. Move to approve, said ordinance by second reading by title.
Kushner,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Latari,
yes,
Jones,
Yes.
Euler.
Yes.
An ordinance establishing traffic control in the Copper Ridge First Plat subdivision in the city of Warrensburg, Missouri. This is for adoption or rejection. Kushner,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Latari,
yes,
Jones,
Yes.
Euler.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 6.2, an ordinance authorizing the city manager and the city clerk to execute change order number 2, agreement with Advanced Asphalt Paving and Concrete LLC for the 2026 street maintenance program hot mix overlay in the city of Warrensburg, Missouri, presented by none other than Phil Adlich.
I was up here a second ago. Evening, so this is our 2026 street maintenance that we're planning on doing. We have been in contact with the previous contractor, felt they did a great job, the price was well or appropriate. We come to this change order so that we can extend their contract and get the other streets that were proposed done on the beginning of their schedule and not towards the end like we did this last year. Hopefully getting this to make it look a lot better. We've concentrated more on, so our streets that we're wanting to do are fluid. You know, I know that previous map had some other streets on there, but we've gone back, reconsidered. We wanted to concentrate around McGuire with a lot of those streets that needed to be upkept or updated. We're still looking at doing about 4.25 miles of street overlay with this program. $895,000. The asphalt index or the API, the asphalt, I can't remember what the pavement index. Through the contractor, we have negotiated that if it goes up, we're going to cover that price, so it might bring the streets down. But if it goes down, we might add some more streets. So because the asphalt pavement index fluctuates due to the oil prices, we'll see what we can get done there. We're excited about getting this done early, and we're hoping that we can get this change order approved so we can move forward with it.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, I'd just elaborate a little bit that we felt like this was a way to take advantage of the competitive bids that we solicited in 2025. Make use of the same contractor I know we struggled with, actually having a different contractor that ultimately didn't get us on their schedule. We had to fall back to a different vendor. This will allow that work to be done at a negotiated competitive price, be done early in the year. And then we could use the API as kind of a reference point if the market should change.
I was just gonna say, I've had a lot of people compliment how much you did this past year, that you did double what you thought you would be able to do. So a lot of people come up and just said, thank you so much for that good work, and feels like we're starting to catch up. Maybe this year we start to get ahead of the game, so.
There are lots of streets out there, but yes,
Oh, yeah.
we're moving forward, trying to get it done.
I
Any
had a-
question?
Yes, a couple of questions.
Okay,
So I had to look up the asphalt index and I from what I understand, that's something that each state manages. And so in our case, MoDOT manages that kind of according, like you said, Phil, about what the contractors are charging. My question though is actually about the pavement condition index. Can you or Mike remind me who did that index for us the first time or this most recent time?
Well, so we just released RFP for a request for proposal for a new pavement condition index that is going to be happening this year. I don't remember the exact company name that pavement condition index happened 5 years ago. So those are, they recommend that you update them every 5 years. So we're going out this year to get a new one so that we can help us, plan for the future and have the new updated streets, the McGuire, to hopefully have a better index number. Have a better index number on.
Yeah, it better be
all of our
near
streets.
100 or 1 or
Right,
whatever
I
the
was
best is.
But we'll have a better index on all of our streets so that we can plan and put those streets that are worse in the beginning of our.
Sure. Yeah, that makes total sense. It's gotta know what you have to know what you need to work
Yep.
on first. And then I wanted to ask do you have any sense, or the folks who were, real connected with kind of overseeing the work done on Hawthorne, do we have a sense that some of that bumpiness
So-
happened because of the speed at which they were trying to get done, or
There
some
was
change
some
in the weather, or
mechanical malfunction on their part that they were
Gotcha.
claiming was a major issue to that. We have communicated with the contractor. We've got a letter that has come back stating that they have 3 resolutions or problem solving things that they're going to try first. The third one is they will mill it out and overlay it if we're not satisfied. So
yeah, I saw that letter. That's
be
good to know. I
add
appreciate
no
them.
additional expense to us. So they are going to stand good to their quality of work and redo it if they need to. But hopefully they'll be able to bring in the roller or, the heat will help flatten it out some. But if we're not satisfied, they will make it right.
That's
So
great.
Phil and his staff met them on site a few months ago now. Brought them out after the work had been completed and the concern was identified, and that then resulted in the assessment and that agreed upon 3 item punch list of possible fixes.
That's great. Thank you both. I appreciate that.
anything else for Phil? No? Thank you, Phil.
Thank you guys.
Motion to move to second reading by title only.
Kushner,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Latari,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Euler.
Yes.
An ordinance authorizing the city manager and the city clerk to execute change order number 2 agreement with Advanced Asphalt Paving and Concrete LLC for the 2026 street maintenance program hot mix overlay in the city of Warrensburg, Missouri. This is for adoption or rejection. Kushner,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Latari,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Euler.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. Item 6.3. An ordinance declaring the results of the canvass of statements of candidacy and establishing a general election to be held on April 7th, 2026, presented by Jody L. Schneider, City Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. As we every year, we do a public notice. We publish a public notice in the Journal. We also place it at City Hall and on our social media pages, accepting declarations of candidacy for the general municipal election, which will be held April 7th, 2026. We had 2 city council member positions available, elected for a 3-year term. As a result of, and that's for a 3-week period in December. December 9th through December 30th would be the end date. As of the deadline passing, there were 2 qualified candidate filings received. Those candidates were Max Riddenhauer and Jan Jones. The required candidate forms are within your packet. I've also attached the ordinance calling up the notice of general election and the sample ballot for your consideration and approval. Once approved, once considered and approved, then it will be filed with the Johnson County Clerk's Office prior to their deadline of January 27th, 2026. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Motion to move to second reading by title only.
Kushner,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Latari,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Euler.
Yes.
An ordinance declaring the results of the canvass of statements of candidacy and establishing a general election to be held on April 7th, 2026. This is for adoption or rejection. Kushner,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Latari,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Euler.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item 7, a motion to approve mayoral appointments as follows. Appoint Michael D. Scragg, Jessica Vinverlo, Jody Schneider as committee members for the Nancy J. Anderson, Charles W. Stevenson Education Scholarship for a 1-year term through December 31, 2026.
Move to approve mayoral appointments.
Kushner,
Yes.
Osborne,
Yes.
Latari,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Euler.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're breezing through this meeting. It's a
Let's set a
makeup.
record if we can.
Okay. Appearances of the council not listed on the agenda. There are none. Item 9, miscellaneous matters from the mayor and or city council.
Thanks for me.
Susie?
Yes, I do have one thing.
Okay.
Thank you. And again, I just want to thank Gary and everyone for making it possible for me to be here virtually. I appreciate that. So this is regarding a topic that I think some of us have been hearing a lot about related to the increase in fees at the community center. And I know I've heard from a wide variety of folks about that one way or the other. And I want to first of all really acknowledge and make clear how much I appreciate all of the weeks and months, possibly years, really worth of work that park staff, especially Chris and his staff put into, but also the Parks Board put into this decision. It was really a series of decisions, very complex budget, not an easy decision, I am sure. And I want to acknowledge that all of that data was given to us, me included, back in June. I think on June 9th was the city council meeting that all of that data was presented regarding the differences in fees from one year to the next and that kind of thing. And that we also had a joint meeting, another obviously public meeting about that. I just want to say that I feel like for me, and I'm not speaking on behalf of anybody else on the council, but I feel like I didn't think deeply and long enough about the impact on certain populations related to that change in fee, even though it was clearly set out in all of that documentation. That's nothing to do with staff or the board. I would like to know if it's possible just to get sort of a re-clarification about the specific impact of those certain populations who used to use the community center for free, who are now not able to do that because we approved that. Know that there was a lot of research done about that. And so I'm wondering if there's some way to know, partly for, for my own edification, but I think also partly for the public, to make it really clear, here's why we came to that decision. Sort of what was the fiscal impact of those populations who used to use the services for free, who are now not able to use those services for free? Because there certainly was an impact, just like, even though folks might have only walked the track, there's wear and tear for that. And they certainly probably use the restroom sometimes. And some folks use the elevator, which is not an inexpensive piece of equipment to upkeep and repair. And so I'm wondering if it's possible to know of what that fiscal impact was. That was one of, or two or three pieces of the data, of many thousands of pieces of data that went into making that decision about the fees. I don't know if that's something that's possible, but I'm assuming that that data exists because it was part of the decision, right? So is that a clear enough request? Do I need to clarify anything more about what I'm looking for?
So this is let me kind of reiterate what I think I heard. You tell me if I got it right, but I was typing along and you spoke. What I picked up was, what was the fiscal impact of those populations that used to use those services for free? And it was then factored into this decision? Is that what you're asking for?
Yeah. I think it would help to just have that set out clearly as yet another piece of data that has been publicly available for people for months, to show that there really is a fiscal impact to allowing someone to use the facility for free. Even if they're just plugging in their phone and, playing games for the afternoon in the lobby, there is still an impact, regardless of whether those folks are seniors or the unhoused or middle school kids or whoever they are. Because ultimately, I wish that I had done a better job, frankly. I feel like I didn't do what I could and should have done at the time to really think more deeply about those populations that are affected now. And that's on me. That's nobody else's fault but mine. So yes, that is what I'm looking for.
So as a staff homework item, I think that we could, between now and a future meeting, go back and gather the information that was previously provided, go through any quantifications that were done before. I think Chris, Steele, and I can have a conversation about, are there other quantifications that are relatively easy to pull together? And I think at a staff level, certainly willing to commit to do all of that. And then if it turns into more homework, or it turns into more of a task, and we might come back and say, how much does the entirety of the council want this information? How much more time should we put into it? But as a first pass, I think the three things that it seemed like just a run-of-the-mill request that staff would take up is the information previously provided, what quantifications there were, or what quantifications we might be able to easily put together, if that's responsive to your question.
Yes, that would be great. I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you to Chris as well.
Thank you, Susie. Any other discussions? Anything else coming up? Nope. All right. Item 10, City staff update, city manager.
One thing of particular note for those of you that are planning to go to the MML session in Sedalia on the 21st, about 7:0 or gas station, drugs for lack of a better term. That is still on, but the location has changed to the First United Methodist Church in Sedalia. So I'll forward information to you if you plan to travel separately, but date and time haven't changed, just the location. I do know that it was limited attendance to, I believe, the first 50, and we didn't have a handful of staff and elected officials interested in going, given the topic. So we've had some other conversations here locally, and interested to see how much information MML can provide on that topic. Then also, we're in the middle of year-end financial audit. This is that time of year that the auditor comes in and works with us on closing out the books and journal entries, and we'll put the audit together. Those are probably the two big ticket items. Stealing a little bit of Phil's thunder, but Cedar Court work is ongoing. Went by there today and was telling Phil tonight. I'm very impressed with how that's turning out. Looks really good. Staff is tearing out the concrete sections and prepping it, and then our contractors installing them at considerable savings over what was originally budgeted, about 1/10 of what we thought it might cost.
On Cedar Court, the circle in the middle of the cul-de-sac, are you gonna fill that in?
There's a manhole right in the middle, so we will go up to the manhole and we're filling in a lot of it, but you'll still have.
But the manhole
a
will be
manhole
there.
Right there.
Okay.
But as part of the neighborhood meeting, we had a conversation with the residents about how they felt about that landscape area, and there was a consensus, if not unanimity, to go ahead and concrete it.
It'd been backed over numerous times, right? You heard that, so.
I think one person fessed up. That they really.
I'll say, it used to have a light, and they finally took it down because it kept getting hit.
Kept getting knocked over, all right. Anything else, Mike?
Other than that, we're, taking the saying, we planned our work, now we're working our plan.
Well, thank you very much. Item 10.2, city staff update, administrative services department.
As Mike mentioned, the audit, we're in the middle of that, so they'll be here for their field work next week. We're taking that off, so we're expecting the report late February, mid-March, somewhere in there, and then we'll be in contact about when they'll come and present to council. The legend came out a couple weeks ago. That's a wonderful thing. I get to be a part of, and so we're glad to see that out there and looking forward to it. So that's all I have.
And I guess we should, our gratitude to Kristen Dorman, the great job she did here. We're not going to see her back here, I guess, so.
No, she was in last week and
Okay.
touched base with staff. For those that aren't aware, she had worked in Pleasant Hill previously as assistant, and had the opportunity to go back there as city administrator, and certainly wish her well. With their family growing and taking on that new responsibility, I have a lot of respect for her. It's gonna take a lot of energy.
So weren't we filling a position?
We will, yes. So we got some vacancies. I'm currently working on salary survey. I gathered some of that information, so we kind of have our thoughts collected, and then we'll.
So we were filling an HR position.
Yeah, so we were
So now
looking at
what-
filling the HR position and now the assistant position, which Jessica has stepped in as interim over administrative services, and she and I are kind of dividing up assistant duties and holding things together. But we want to get this salary survey component done, get a sense of where we're at, before we go to market and try that.
And that will cover all management, that survey. So,
The intent is to cover all employees.
okay,
Mid-America Regional Council has historically done a survey, and I'm learning that the response to that survey has dwindled over the years, and which makes me wonder how much luck we'll have in trying to conduct our own survey. But we may just have to put in the hard work of requesting all the documents and tallying the information ourselves.
Is the MML still?
Yeah, they do, and they just recently sent out a link to fill out the survey, and so we're trying to work with them to gather that information as well.
will we be using the same company that we used for you to help fill the other two?
Well, we're using them on an as-needed basis to support Jessica and myself on the HR side of things. They are helping a little bit with the salary survey preparation, and haven't really made any decisions on the search.
I don't
process.
remember the name of the company.
Everest Drive.
Thank you.
So they actually hired, Megan,
Megan Dodge.
I'm sorry,
Megan Dodge.
Megan Dodge, former HR director in Lawrence, joined their team, and Megan is, working with us as needed.
Okay. Thank you.
Nope. Thanks again, Mike. Item 10.3, city staff updates, city clerk.
There is a report in your council packet. Nothing's transpired since then. I'm happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Nothing for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jody.
Mhm.
City staff update, item 10.4, community development.
Nothing additional from the written report.
Thanks. Item 10.5, fire department, chief.
Nothing additional.
Okay. Item 10.6, parks department, Chris.
Yes. Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and council members. First, I would like to introduce our new Assistant Parks and Recreation Director, Tony Albertina. Tony, you can say hello to everybody.
Hi, Tony.
Very, very happy to have Tony here. He's from Decatur, Illinois, and where he worked for a park system of over 100 park employees. Very jealous of that. And he has been working over 15 years plus experience, a master's degree in public administration, and very well versed in parks and recreation services. So we're pleased to have him join our staff. Also this evening, here is Jason Duffy, our park board president, and Kerry Battles, the recreation superintendent. Just a couple updates this evening. I hope that all of you have had received the winter spring activity guide and also Warrensburg Legend in the mail. If not, I brought a few copies, if you need one. I wanted to point out the message from the director in the front of the activity guide, which has a list of our capital improvements this year, such as 6 additional pickleball courts with partial donation for the Blaine Whitworth Foundation, new outdoor basketball court, added sports lighting, and refurbished tennis courts. And with all these features being located at Grover Park, this park is our featured park for the winter spring brochure. Also included is the update on the front desk and lobby project at the community center. As previously reported, this project was funded through Marion Glazberg Foundation, matching funds for the park's capital, and also money from the park fund balance. And as an update on this project, the demolition of the old front desk is taking place at this time. And they are on schedule, and next week they will be removing the old carpet in the senior center area. Also next week, they're going to start on the locker room area, renovation of that with rust removal and prevention for future rust with their new type of electrostatic paint that they use. And the final phase will be the reconstruction of the front desk, with the project being completed by April 1st. Regarding the policy of the entrance fee at the community center, staff of the park board is very aware of public comments and that have been expressed. And similar to the city council meeting format, at the park board, on the park board agenda is appearances to the park board not listed. And during this time, it will be open for public comment. And the next park board meeting is on Wednesday, January 28th at 7 p.m. at the community center. And as always, our agendas are posted in advance, website, press locations, and at the community center physically. And that is all I have for this evening. I'll answer any questions you may have.
No questions. Tony, welcome to Warrensburg, and glad you're here.
Thank you.
Jason, Carrie, thank you for coming tonight. Appreciate it. He knows already. City staff update, police department, chief knows everything.
Evening, Mayor, Council. I don't know everything. I try to stay on top of things. We have 3 in our field training process. We have 5 applicants being ready to be interviewed. We'll see how that goes. Our ticket printers are in. We had to order a cable for hooking them up. We'll look and see whether or not we can install them easily in vehicles now or wait till the new fleet comes in. All of our Axon equipment's in, waiting on vehicles on that stuff as well. And Our red dots for the pistols have all come in with our new holsters. We had, our training, our qualifications and training, approximately 2 weeks before Christmas time, and all of our qualifications went up drastically. So
Fantastic.
that, definitely improves. Everybody seems to really like them. So that's all I have.
Okay.
For the council's benefit and the public, you might explain red dot, not a laser, what's a dot on?
No, it's funny you say that. So, on the red dot, it's got a square, square that you look through, and then there's a dot. Ours is actually green due to, we went with green because of taillights. You got the red reflection and working at nighttime. I think that could interfere a little bit. But you look through the window and wherever that dot appears, that's where it's gonna hit. So now you're not having to find that with your sights, the sight picture. It's just one dot. They can't see it. We only see it through our window of sight, line of sight. I'm a little concerned about them because batteries go bad, right? We got plans, we're gonna replace some batteries every year, but they'll last hours on hours, and they'll outlast, probably 5 years, but we're gonna replace them every year. Little area in that aspect just because of failure. However, during our qualification courses, our firearms instructors taught us different ways to fire the weapon, and without the red dot sight, if it malfunctions, it's pretty neat. You can look over top of it. But one that I never knew, and I've been doing this for 27 years altogether, there's a rail sight along the side of the Glock that you don't even need a sight. You can use that rail slide, and it drives tacks. It just is amazing how good that actually shoots. So anyway, pretty neat stuff on the training side of it.
That's great.
Any other questions? All right, thanks.
Nope,
Have a good
thank you.
evening.
City staff update, item 10.8. Bill, what do you got for us?
Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. Mike stole my thunder. Cedar Court was one of the things I was gonna mention, but also I've got McGuire Street corridor. It's getting so close to being done. We're still working on Grover, the signal poles, the sidewalk, getting all that touched up. Watering the turf or the sod. Thank you. So, you know, they're out there spraying water in the mornings or during the day so that the grass will continue to grow, hopefully. Lions Lake, I don't know if you've driven by, but there's concrete spots for the floating bridges to connect. When the water rises up enough and fills in that area, the floating dock bridge will be installed. So then over on the northeast side, they're put down some concrete for the deck portions, the bump outs on that bridge. They're still working on the forebay a little bit, but it's coming along. Hopefully you're liking it.
It looks real good.
Great.
Does look good.
The solar project, I met with a contractor today. They were doing some measuring over at the PD. And that project will start here shortly. Probably within towards the end of the month, and we'll start seeing some movement on that. They've got the equipment and we're just getting in some final design and measurements. And then the plant expansion's going well over at the west plant. They're starting to fill up the tank so they can do the leak testing, make sure it doesn't leak. The east plant has the last pour of concrete, I believe is scheduled this week. And then they'll be scheduling to put leak test or put water in it and leak test. And then the reed bed piping is all been laid down and they're going to be testing that. So lots of stuff's happening. And that's just the major project. So
No questions? All right. City staff update, item 10.9, Warrensburg Convention and Visitors Bureau. Okay, we're adjourned.